Courageous Self-Care podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this show, we talk about self-care that takes courage. It goes beyond bubble baths, chocolate, and wine. It's the self-care that goes deep. It gets personal. It can be uncomfortable. And the best part is that it will transform your life. Be sure to stick around until the end. I'm going to share a free resource that I created with you. This month on the Courageous Self-Care podcast, we're discussing foundation number 3. So Courageous Self-Care has 12 foundations. We're at the third one, and that is growing your gratitude. I've already given you lots of different tips and ideas on how to grow your gratitude. Today, we're moving into how to use gratitude to boost your confidence. And it has to do with 4 words in particular. So we're going to learn how to move away from I'm sorry and into gratitude. I find that a lot of people, in particular women, apologize out of habit. So we often say, I'm sorry for things that we really don't need to be sorry for. And every time we say I'm sorry, it's like we're dimming our light. Now, I'm all for an apology that is heartfelt for something that has happened intentionally or unintentionally. So don't get me wrong, apologizing is important, but it's not important for day-to-day experiences that really, we don't need to put ourselves down. Every time we say I'm sorry and it's not for something that really merits an apology, we are lowering or keeping our confidence at a low level. So is there an alternative to I'm sorry? Yes, absolutely. And that alternative is gratitude. It's a wonderful opportunity to use gratitude, which actually increases our confidence, it increases our vibration, and it leaves us in a better mood. So here's how I learned this. I was at a retreat once with my mentor, and we were waiting for her, and I guess she was using the washroom or something. She sat down when she returned and she said, "Oh, I was just about to say I'm sorry, but that doesn't feel right in this situation. So what I'm going to say instead is thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting and for holding the space for me until I was ready." Do you hear and feel the difference? Thank you instead of I'm sorry. And the benefit of using thank you in a small circumstance like this is that not only are you increasing the vibration of the words you are using, so I'm sorry has a lower vibration than thank you. Gratitude has such a powerful resonance. If it was on a scale, I'm sorry would be around here and thank you would be far, far above it. And if you're not watching the video, I just showed that one was higher than the other. So that really got me to thinking about the power of I'm thank you in situations where I would normally say I'm sorry. And I made it a practice to be conscientious of when I wanted to apologize and seeing if thank you would fit better. And I can tell you from experience and being mindful about this, that definitely thank you feels so much better than I'm sorry for the inconsequential things. I have another example. I went to a friend's house and she was apologizing over and over for things that didn't really matter. I'm sorry my house is a mess. I'm sorry I didn't offer you anything to drink. And when I thought about it, there could have been opportunities for gratitude, and I'll share with you what that does at a deeper level. When we say, I'm sorry for how my house looks, we're looking for reassurance from the other person. So it's actually showing that our confidence is low. If I was a better person, my house would be cleaner. No. What the alternative is that could be said is, oh, thanks for understanding that my house isn't my top priority right now. And so along with saying thank you, you're also giving a compliment or a gift to the other person. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, my house isn't clean, by saying, thank you for understanding that my house hasn't been my top priority, you're actually complimenting the receiver for being understanding. Or in the other example, I'm sorry that I didn't offer you a drink. Some time had passed and we had gotten into what we were doing, and I had brought my own water, so it didn't matter. So an alternative to that would be, oh my gosh, you were so polite. I didn't even offer you a drink. Thank you for waiting so politely and patiently. So hear the difference again, offering that compliment. So it's a gift to yourself and to the other person saying thank you. It's also a gift not putting yourself down and keeping your confidence low. And you can offer a compliment, which is another gift. It's a win-win-win. Thank you for being so polite. Thank you for being so patient. And thank you is also a gift in itself. So do you see how that energy is so different? Using those 3 steps, which are recognizing when you want to apologize, noticing if it's an opportunity for a thank you, and then delivering the gratitude with a compliment, you will find as you put this into practice that your confidence is going to grow naturally. Now, what if you forget and you say, I'm sorry? No worries. Catch yourself. And you can say, oh my gosh, I just apologized, but what I'm actually working on is reframing. So just forget that I said that, and instead I'm going to change it to thank you, and then fill in the blank. Makes perfect sense, right? That is how you can use gratitude to boost your confidence. So next time, instead of saying I'm sorry, unless it's a really important apology that needs to be made, that's a whole different story. See if thank you will do the trick and add that double boost of goodness by adding a compliment in to your listener. I have a gift to share with you, and that is the Daily Self-Care Checklist. This is a resource I created that gives a deeper understanding of several of the foundations of courageous self-care. You can get this resource, and it's not just a checklist. I spent a lot of time on it. So it's pretty, you can print it off, and it's also a teaching. You can get that by going to ChristinaMarlett.com. That's Christina with a CH. Marlett is Marlett. I would love to share that with you. It's a very impactful document. The Courageous Self-Care podcast airs Monday through Friday. So there will be more great juicy topics, tips on implementing gratitude more and more into your life, as well as exploring the other foundations. So do come back and listen again. If you found this episode to be useful, please like it, leave a comment, and even go as far as sharing it with your friends. If you're listening to the podcast, you can become a follower. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the Courageous Self-Care channel. That way you'll find out when the next episode is ready. I'll leave you with a final thought. There is nothing selfish about self-care. In fact, self-care is, not taking care of yourself is selfish, because what happens, especially for women, is we're programmed, designed to give and nurture. But when we give and give and give, and we're running on empty, we're no longer giving with love. The reason we want to give is because it makes us feel good and it makes the receiver feel good. But if you find that you're giving with resentment, bitterness, you're short with people, you're thinking, ugh, guess I'll do this too, and you're doing it with sacrifice and martyrdom, that no longer feels good, and that creates a lot of stress on your body. It's selfish to give in that way because there's no giving happening. You're making the other people feel bad for receiving. When we give to ourselves first and we nourish and nurture ourselves first, which is the hardest thing to do, especially if we're in the habit of doing the opposite, then we are able to give with love and fulfillment and joy. And then our receivers also feel that wonderful energy. So make sure that you do practice some courageous self-care so that you can give from a place of love and fulfillment rather than martyrdom and sacrifice and bitterness. When we give with love, not only do we benefit ourselves and others in our immediate circle, we also benefit on an energetic level the entire globe. So, of course, there's nothing selfish in that. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to connecting with you again next time. Bye bye for now.